Hello, Internet, for the second time tonight. This is Zach Sarowik, and this is Say Report Jr., which is not how we open the show, so I don't know why I said it that way. Oh, dear God. We're already off the rails.
It's okay. It's all right. It's been a
Oh,
weird night. I'm Dale Decker. It has been a weird night. This is our second time recording
oh, man,
because
I blame Sanic. I blame Sanic and that weird alien backstory they're giving him.
maybe
Oh,
maybe this
man.
is maybe screwing around with the podcast is Sonic's way of saving our planet.
Oh, dear Lord. It's gonna be so weird. It's like the movie should have come out like 15 years ago. It's like that level of CGI,
I
that level of character work.
I I'm s-
Oh
I
man.
am still so excited.
I'm sure it's gonna be fine.
I have not seen the trailer that apparently has broken the internet, so to speak. But I'm so excited.
The single best thing, there's two great points to the trailer. One is just James Marsden doing his damnedest in that trailer. Very clearly doing his damnedest in that trailer.
Yeah.
Dude, he's gonna be great. But the other one is that they did that thing where the Paramount logo, instead of the stars around it, it's Sonic rings.
Oh,
So
beautiful. Oh my
oh,
god.
top level stuff going on there.
Oh, I'm excited. That makes
But
I love that shit.
oh, that is only the second most important thing I watched today because I watched something else today. I
Okay.
watched I watched a little movie that's on HBO for some freaking reason right now
Well, this is the
called
bad. This is the bad movie that you said you watched.
Yeah,
I'm
because
excited.
here's the thing. We'll get to that in a second. Actually, now that say it, what have you heard any of the discourse around Game of Thrones this last week
Um.
and the fact that it was basically just it was darker than trying to watch Thor: The Dark World?
I, so okay. So I did hear someone on the radio today on yeah, and they were like, yeah, it was so dark, I couldn't see anything that was going on. So
It
like, do they mean tone of
No,
dark, or
they
they
mean it
mean
was
like lighting?
physically so poorly
Litten?
lit.
It's a cat.
Yep,
It's a cat
it
Pokemon.
was. It
Fire
was
cat
the.
Pokemon.
Yep. So here's the thing. Here's what they were trying to do. Is they were trying to create a kind of horror action atmosphere for this episode,
Okay.
and it was taking place in the middle of the night. So it's supposed to be very tense that in the middle of the night they get attacked. All very important. The
Mm.
problem is that they also decided apparently that natural lighting was the best way to do this episode through
Oh.
with which was the pitch blackness of darkness and the fire they had on set because that's about as well as it was lit.
So it's lit.
I'm gonna keep
Stop
saying
saying
it. I'm
lit.
gonna keep saying lit.
It's a
Oh.
little fire cat that turns into nightmare fuel. Uh, I would never evolve Litten. Anyways, um, the stuff that I've only heard about the like darkness of it the past like maybe 2 days. I've more been hearing about Arya.
Well, that's
Like
also this is all
that's
an episode that also premiered Sunday night. And
yeah.
pull back the curtain a little bit, we were recording this on Tuesday, so literally
Yes.
it's been 2 days since
Yes.
this
It has
episode
been
came.
2 days.
I don't want to
But
get into we don't need to get into the Arya stuff. The Arya stuff is
no.
complete bullshit. She
Oh,
deserves to kill the way she wants to kill.
well,
She's a
like,
badass
but
and
people
she's
are
awesome.
saying she's a badass. I haven't heard
Okay.
any negative things towards her.
I have
I
I
don't
have heard
know
a lot
any
of
of these
people.
people.
Here's the problem. I have heard a lot of people responding to other people that because of the way that I know how to work the internet, I
Yeah,
never see a lot of the shittier parts of the internet.
that's good.
Like when I was on Tumblr, I never saw the parts of Tumblr that people complained about because I just
Mm.
didn't bother following any of those parts.
I saw some
And it's
shitty parts of the internet this morning.
right. And it's
Um,
the same thing with Twitter. Like there are parts of Twitter I just don't bother with, which
yeah,
means that like I see a lot of people responding to shit that they saw and I never see the shitty part,
I got you. Yeah, no,
which is
so
nice.
Joe I think made a joke about because there was at the bar last night that we go to there they had like the news on and the news was talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy. That's not what I meant to say. Game of Thrones. They were talking about Game of Thrones and
God,
they
I
apparently
want Guardians of the Galaxy in Game of Thrones now. Anyway,
they apparently like showed according to my friend who watches the show, he was like, they just showed the entire final, like the entire scene. They just
Oh yeah.
spoiled the entire
Oh, that's a whole
ending.
other. Yeah, that's a whole
And
other
Joe
thing
made
going on.
yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
Joe made the joke of, I don't know, I couldn't see anything. It was so dark. And I was like, wait, what? Okay. And I just wrote it off as like him just making a joke. And then I heard it on the radio today. And I'm like, oh, so this is a thing.
Yeah.
This is
No.
like
So
a
like.
thing people had issues with.
Right. So like the whole thing was like this fight starts off in the middle of the night. And so you
Mm.
get pitch blackness there. Then you get some fire lighting, which is actually kind of cool. And then you get everything is on fire, and also there's fog. So you get the smoke and the fog mixed with this like orange lighting with like black silhouetted things going on,
Wow.
all of which makes some pretty cool stills once in a while. But for like
Now
a
I want to
hundred
watch
for
it.
an hour and 20-minute episode of
Mm.
television, it is impossible to see what is going on.
Well, like now I hate that I want to watch it because I want to see if it's as bad. I want to see if the trend of people not liking stuff equals Dale likes something, and by extent Devin.
I mean, that's the thing. Like
and
that's
vice
so.
versa.
And here's the thing. Like, it's not like it wasn't the whole episode was bad that way, right? The thing is, like,
Mm.
if it was only parts of the episode that were lit that way, it would be kind of cool. It's
Yeah,
just the
it
fact that like
sounds cool.
they're doing that thing. They're doing the thing that a lot of war movies
Movies
and like
do.
medieval action fantasy things do, which is a lot of quick cuts between a thousand things going on.
Mm-hmm.
But they're doing that, which is already kind of hard to parse
Keep
out
track of.
sometimes. If you've got like shaky cam and like fights going on, sometimes that's hard for me to watch. And I don't know if that's because of my glasses and my poor eyesight or if it's just me or what, but sometimes that's hard for me to watch. So to then add a layer of that on where I need to squint through pure
Mm.
blackness to even see the outlines of people as that's going on, it's just
Yeah.
why.
No, I get that. Yeah.
Um,
No.
but
I
yeah,
don't know.
and then on top of all of that, the other thing that happened was that this was the episode this week. I don't know if it's because everybody was so hard up to not spoil Endgame that they just gave up on everything else. But for some reason, this episode of Game of Thrones was the episode this season that everyone went, "Fuck it, I'm live tweeting every fucking thing," and they don't give a shit anymore.
Well,
So
apparently.
like, I knew what happened at the end of that episode
Yeah.
Sunday night,
Yeah.
and I
Well,
didn't have
that's.
HBO until Monday
Mhm,
afternoon.
mhm.
So
I mean, I feel like I know a lot of stuff that has happened in Game of Thrones because
Right.
people just tweet about it afterwards,
Oh,
and I'm
it's
like,
it's
okay, that's cool. But also, hasn't Endgame also gotten spoiled?
yes and
like,
no. I actually
certain
still, as
things?
someone who has seen Endgame, I am still not seeing things that I think would have fully spoiled Endgame yet.
Because Devin mentioned that there was a commercial spot that spoiled everything. But
Oh,
like,
well, I don't watch. I mean, that's the thing. I
yeah,
don't watch a
no,
lot of
I know.
ads. So
But I just didn't know if it like had gotten to the internet or not
not that
because
I've
you are
seen.
definitely more in tapped to that stuff than I am.
Like, not that I've seen, but
So
again, I mean, again, that's because I follow a lot of video game people and
yeah,
movie people,
yeah,
like people who like these things, who
yeah,
are distinctly going to turn around and say, "I don't want to spoil this for people, so
yeah.
I'm not going to say anything."
But I
So,
didn't
like,
know if like the
the version
commercial
of the
showed up.
internet that I see is so wildly
Yeah,
different from other people.
that's true.
Yeah.
No, I got you.
So,
So,
so I get HBO to catch up on Game of Thrones because at this point, after Sunday night, after everybody's live tweet, like, well, I know what the fuck happens. I might as well just get caught up and do the 7-day trial, and then I play like maybe, considering there's only like 4 episodes left of the season, 5 episodes left of the season, I will probably be able to watch the rest of the season only paying for HBO once.
yeah,
So like, might
maybe,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So I might as well. So
yeah.
I get HBO. I'm scrolling through what movies are on there now.
Mhm.
First off, the Psycho trailer sequels are on there, which I'm gonna have to sit down and watch because I forgot they existed. Um, Psycho 2 is actually supposedly very good, but it is not an Alfred Hitchcock film.
No.
It just isn't.
Yeah, no.
So I have to you have to get that. And then they've got Psycho 3, which I think is just bad. And then they've got the Gus Van Sant shot for shot remake
Yep.
of the original Psycho up,
Yeah. Oh,
which I've
jeez.
never watched, but at some point I feel like I
Yeah,
just
I
should.
haven't seen any of the sequels. I've
Oh,
only seen the
man.
original.
I just know that Psycho 2 is basically like much like much like later like Scream 3 and I think Bride of Chucky gets into the idea of people like making movies and talking about
Making
talking about
movies.
things about earlier entries in the series. Psycho 2 is like Anthony Perkins gets out of prison and is like released, and then they are trying to like make a movie or a book or something about the
Oh,
Bates
about it.
Motel killings, and so
Ugh.
like he's involved in that, and then people start dying, and even he's not sure if he's the one killing them or not because he's
Oh.
not sure if he's still like mentally unstable or not. It's supposed to be
Huh.
quite interesting.
Huh.
Like it sounds cool to me. I've just never sat down and watched it. So
Yeah.
they're there. But I'm scrolling through and I come across this is going to sound this is so very much me.
I'm very
I
interested.
recognize someone as I'm scrolling through and I go, that's a character from One Tree Hill. What is this actress doing on this poster? I didn't think she did anything outside of One Tree Hill. And then I see who's sitting next to her, which I'll get to in a second. And I'm like, Stay Alive. Why does Stay Alive sound familiar? The movie Stay Alive sounds really familiar. What is that? And I look it up and I see a different poster than what's on HBO. And I
Hmm.
realize, oh, because the poster is basically a bloody Xbox controller. Because
Okay.
Stay Alive is the 2006 film about the video game that kills people. And
Oh
I was like,
my
I
god.
need to watch this movie.
Okay.
Because not only does it star my favorite actress from One Tree Hill, who I just think deserved to get more work, it also stars, and I shit you not, Frankie Muniz,
Oh!
Malcolm in the Middle himself.
Oh! I love Frankie
And he spends
Muniz.
the entire movie wearing a accountant's visor. You know, like the
Yes.
clear plastic accountant's visor
Yeah.
upside down because it's
Oh
2006.
my god.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I decided to watch this very bad movie. And what's great, like this is 2006. So this is 10 years after Scream.
Yep.
Literally 10 years after Scream. And it is just like it opens on just this really bad like CGI shot of the video game being played. And like the first thing I notice is that the person playing the game in the opening shot, the Drew Barrymore of this movie, the
Mm-hmm.
person who gets killed in the opening
Yep.
is Milo Ventimiglia, Jesse of Gilmore Girls.
Oh my
And
gosh.
This Is Us fame.
Oh
And
wow.
it's oh my God. And it just like halfway through the movie, and I was falling asleep through it, so maybe I missed something. But I feel like at some point there were shots that didn't make sense one after the other. Like like Frankie, like there's this whole thing where she can't go through roses. The ghost that's killing them through the game can't go through roses. So it's like a mechanic in the game
What?
that you like drop a
Okay.
rose so she can't go past where you are or something.
Yeah.
And so like in real life, she can't go past roses. So Frankie Muniz gets like dropped in a rose bush, and there's like a shot of the ghost coming at him, and then it cuts away to these other two characters, and I can't tell where they are. I thought they were outside of a house doing something, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden it cuts again 30 seconds later, and they're in the middle of a graveyard, and I'm like, what is going on in this
Well, it's a
movie?
video
Because
game.
none of these shots make sense next to each other.
Well, it's a video game.
This is outside the video game, though. This
Yeah.
is not
Okay.
a
But
this
the
is not a
world
the
has become
world
a
is
video
but
game.
no, that's it. That is not the reveal. I thought that
Oh.
would be the reveal, and this
Oh.
would make more sense,
Oh.
and that didn't. It
Oh.
just was like
Oh.
shot. It's just like all of a sudden they were just running into places, and there was no continuity from shot to shot for a while, for like a solid
Wonderful.
15 minutes.
I was like, yeah. So obviously,
I
the end of this
did.
movie, they're inside the video game.
Oh man, I
But
wanted so
no,
badly for that to be the reveal, so it would make sense after the fact, and it just didn't.
that sucks.
It just didn't make any sense.
That sucks.
Oh man. And it's just like it was so like we talked last week about like all of the movies how like there's like a handful of like classic good horror movies
Hmm.
that don't tend to follow all of these rules people talk about, and then
Yes.
there's the
Yes.
99% of other movies that come out that do.
Yeah.
And this movie falls so squarely into that 99% of other movies. Like it must have been rated PG-13 for one, because there's like nothing aside from a bunch of swearing going on in this movie.
Nice.
And even then, it's like mild. And there's it was so bad. The CGI in the game is so bad. It's like pseudo Resident Evil levels of bad. Uh,
I'm
but
sorry.
yeah. Oh,
I'm sorry
and
you
I
sat
just like
through that.
the thing is it wasn't even like funny. It wasn't even like this is so bad it's funny. It was
Yeah.
just so nothing.
Ugh, That sucks.
And I felt so bad because Frankie Muniz is trying so hard with his one-up shirt that he's wearing through the whole
Oh
thing. He's
my
got wearing one of those. He looks
god.
like he walked into a Hot Topic and walked into their video game section and rolled around until he walked out with an outfit on
Rolled
because he's
around.
got the track jacket with the one-up mushroom on
Oh
it,
god.
and he's got the he's doing it all. He's doing. They're all playing on Alienware laptops.
Oh gosh.
Every one of them is playing on Alienware laptops. There's like a scene where they go to someone's apartment where there's a giant. Do you remember Steam Boy, the anime Steam Boy?
No.
It's like I think it was an anime or it was a movie at least, like a Japanese animated film
Yeah,
that was
no.
like basically steampunk. And their entire back wall is just like a poster for Steam Boy that was like blown up and stuck to the wall. And then when it turns around to the other side of the couch, there's like 8 monitors because there's like 6 people playing this video game together. So of course they each get their own monitor.
They need
So
their
it
own.
looks like a bad
Oh
version of
my
Hackers, where
gosh.
you've got all of these like early 2000s like 20 somethings playing video games.
It sounds good. It's unfortunate that it's
It's so
not.
much. The only good part is that like you could probably do a drinking game out of the number of times they say gamers.
Oh my
You could.
god.
Oh, it was so bad. Oh, it was so bad. There was a cop. One of the cops, the one that dies, because of course there's two
Yeah.
cops and one of them has to die,
Yeah.
goes into a video game store. Basically a GameStop.
Mhm.
The guy that works at GameStop. The guy that works at GameStop. Oh my God, his hair. But
Was it
cop
like
goes to the front of the line.
Spiky Punk?
Oh, not even spiky. More
Oh
like
gosh.
kind of like Krusty the Clown.
Yeah,
That his
okay.
hair went in two different distinct triangles. Um,
Oh no.
the cop comes in and goes to the front of the line and talks to this guy. And when the guy asked to, because they're asking about a video game that was essentially like not released yet.
Yeah.
So like this guy doesn't know anything. He works at fucking GameStop in the early 2000s. There's no way he knew about this game yet. But
Unless he did his level up training.
either that or he read Game Informer, which does feature in this movie. One of
Does
the
it
final
really?
shots of this movie is a Game Informer cover
Oh
about
my
Stay Alive, the
god.
video game.
Oh my god.
The final shot of the movie is this guy from the GameStop putting it into a display case and with the Game Informer magazines just around the monitor.
Wow.
And what's great is he puts it into a PS2 that pops open on the top, which is not how PS2s worked. PS2s did not pop up on the top. They had a disc tray that popped out.
Mhm.
So so Devin's gonna correct me. Watch, there'll be some version of the PS2 that popped up.
There
I
might
don't know
be,
about,
yeah.
but as far as I know, the PS2 had a pop-out disc tray. It did not open on top like a PS1 did, and
Yes.
yet that is how this display PS2 worked for this guy.
Wow.
But the cop that came in earlier talks about how he hasn't played video games since he won a Qbert tournament in the 80s. Because games, people. We
Because
knew a video game.
games. Jeez. That's amazing.
So bad. They talk about it opens up with them talking about Silent Hill 4, a game
Oh.
that doesn't exist. Because I don't think there was like after Silent Hill 3, Silent Hill 4 was not Silent Hill 4. I think it was Silent Hill Origins. They didn't call it Silent Hill 4.
Jeez.
They just knew that there had been 3 of them before and they wanted to talk about a game that didn't exist. So they said Silent Hill 4
They
instead.
didn't have to pay the rights. It's okay.
Oh man.
Oh,
Also, for a
that's
movie that
great.
takes place in Louisiana, one black person in the whole movie.
Oh, wow.
One black person in the whole
Wow.
movie. And
Jesus.
and he was the cop that lived. So hey, at least you get that much.
Oh God.
This is what I've done with my time this week.
I mean, it
Uh,
sounds productive.
I'm very close to finishing that randomizer, that seed that actually worked that I gave up on after 15 hours.
Yeah.
Devin asked to look at it, and of course, like 10 hours later, I got a message from him that was like, "Oh, you can beat it. Here's the final screen of
I
me
believe
beating
in
it."
you. Yeah. How far? How has that been
I
going?
I am in Ganon's tower
Hey.
on the Link Pass side,
Yeah.
and then I have one more section. I have at least one more boss before Mother Brain on the Super Metroid side.
Okay, so you're not that. You're close to being done. That's good.
Relative. Yes, the problem is that I forgot that since I don't normally play or beat Link to the Past, I forgot how obnoxious Ganon's tower is.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
because you have to re-battle everything that you've already killed, and it's like slightly difficult, slightly more harder.
it's just the rooms that's like here's eight bespoke rooms full of spikes
Yep,
and lasers
yep.
and those things that follow you like that go in the opposite direction as you, so you have to like walk them in very specific
Yep.
ways to kill them, but
Oh,
you have to do that while lasers are shooting at you now.
uh-huh. Everything is kicked up a notch.
I
It's crazy. It's a boss's tower. What do you expect?
know. I expected, I don't know, it's Super Nintendo. I thought it'd be easier.
Yeah.
Said no one ever.
No.
Uh,
That's okay though.
so that's been like my week because I also worked through opening weekend of Avengers, and
Exhausted.
I got like it was my first real look at how obnoxious people can be at a bar, even when it's not a real bar.
Oh yeah.
Just
Oh
so
yeah.
bad.
I'm sure. Gosh. I'm sure. And so I'm just gonna put this out before I explain my week. Avengers. Both of us have seen Avengers Endgame.
In fact, all four of
In
the
fact, all
reporters
four.
have seen
Yes, all four of the Say reporters have seen Avengers Endgame. The reason why this episode is not just an Endgame episode is because the four of us are going to do a family report to talk about Endgame. So hopefully that will be coming out.
somewhere theoretically soon. We decided we
Yes.
all needed like extra time to kind of sit on it
Think
and
about it.
process it and
Yeah.
think about it before we, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could give a teaser, but I'm not going to give a teaser.
I mean, the teaser is that Dale came out of it feeling like she does about most of the MCU, and so
Hey,
did Zach.
hey.
Those are just two very different feelings about the MCU.
Well,
like,
but okay, but I need to say that I do like some movies in the MCU. I do really like them. It's the ensemble movies that I come out kind of like, eh.
right, because those
Except
are the
for
ones that
Infinity
expect.
War.
Yeah, we'll get into
Infinity
it. But
War
those are the
was
ones we expect.
fantastic.
Right, and that's because it was only half a story, so
Yeah.
you can only really. I mean, it ended on the climax of the story. Anyway,
It was great.
Uh.
But yes, you know, that's the teaser. Is that I kind of came out of it being like, meh, it's a movie. But you'll hear more about that when we talk about it. But yes, we
So
acknowledge
instead,
we
you
acknowledge
chose-
that Endgame exists and that we both saw it. You
so
just need to
now
wait
moving
for
on
it to
to
hear
another
us.
hot Disney property.
Yeah. Okay, so my week basically has been okay. So, quickly, because you were just talking about video game movies, very quickly, Saturday is quote unquote the Wizard Day, or as proclaimed of the Deckers, because Billy's. You've seen the Wizard, right?
I mean, it's been a very long time, but I mean, it's the same date as the competition in The Wizard, right?
No,
Oh.
it's. I thought that too until we rewatched The Wizard on Friday night. It's Billy's number in the competition, so his number is 427. So that's why Wizard Day is 427. So on Friday night we watched it, and then we went to a video game competition on Wizard Day.
And let's talk about the fact very quickly that we are about to talk about the second time. This is now the second time because we have been doing this over a year.
Yes.
That you get to talk about this event on Say Report Jr.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We've been doing this for too long. Anyway.
Yeah, 1 year too long. No, I take that back. It has not been 1 year too long. I will not change anything. I love doing this. No, but anyways, so yes, we went to a video game competition. It was pretty fun. It wasn't as big. I mean, it was a smaller convention than the one that I brought up, a while ago. I don't even know when that was. But so yeah, it was fun. It was a video game competition. The coolest part about it is that it was on Wizard Day. And yeah, it was, good time. Video games that I have never heard of. Also, that I had to play.
Oh, that's right, because last one was like retro game something, right?
Yes,
It wasn't
yeah.
Frag that
Yeah,
you went
no.
to last time.
It was a Frag event at.
That's what it was. I was like, I
Retro
remember
Gamer
Frag
Con.
being okay.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
Frag being involved.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was their competition at a another convention. This was like they put on a like mini convention kind of thing.
Can we turn the rest of this podcast for the next year into sequels of the podcasts we did a year before? We talk about another fag
I'm
event. We
okay.
talk about Endgame compared to Infinity War. We'll talk about Pokemon. We'll talk about Detective Pikachu as
Detective
compared to
Pikachu?
Let's Go.
Yep.
We'll talk about
Spider-Man.
we'll talk
Far
about
From Home
as compared to PS4
Homecoming.
Spider-Man.
And PS4 Spider-Man. It's really crazy. Yeah, it's basically the Sarah Report Jr. sequel series now.
Oh,
That's
man.
crazy. Why did you have to bring that to perspective?
I don't know because I dropped my coffee in the street today and
Yeah, you
someone else
did.
had to suffer with me.
Oh man. So anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna talk too much about it because there's a video game competition. You could I believe Devin talks about it in this week's episode of Say Report. He got 95 out of 100 points and then got to the finals, and he ultimately came in third. But it was a great race, great everything. You can hear his side of it. I just had a viewer side of, yeah, it was a fun thing to watch. And the biggest thing is that he got 95 out of 100 points, which is crazy and awesome. And everybody at the event was like, how? It's like, Devin plays video games, guys.
I mean, he would have gotten 100 points if it weren't for, what's that one? Life Force was this problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Devin plays video games. He gets around. That's gonna be like my little plug to Devin this episode. Anyways,
His tagline for a person: he plays video games, he gets around. He can survive with Frankie Muniz and stay alive. Then.
So anyways, the thing that I started doing this week, and part of it comes from Devin challenging or questioning or asking, but another part comes from a friend of mine from college who has kind of re-inspired me to start doing this in Pokemon. But I started shiny hunting.
Yes.
In Pokemon. In Pokemon Let's Go Eevee specifically. I
don't know how people do this. I don't know how you pull this off. Oh my god. I found my shiny by accident.
So I would not be doing it if Let's Go didn't make it easier. It's not easy.
Easier in that the formula is known.
Yes, the formula, there's a very clear, distinct formula in Let's Go to get shinies. And you just follow the formula and then kind of wait. But a while back, Devin texted both you and I and asked us to get him a shiny Ponyta and name it Rarity. The next day, I tried this, and basically the formula in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, to make the chances greater of encountering a shiny Pokemon is in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, you get catch combos. So after 31 catch, after a 31 catch combo or a 32 catch combo, there is a higher percentage, a higher chance of a shiny Pokemon of that catch combo to show up. It also helps to have the shiny stone. So by completing your Pokedex, which I also did, this week was the first time I completed my Pokedex. On Thursday. Was it Thursday?
Your dedication is so much higher than mine. I haven't touched that in a while, and here's part of the problem. I had my Switch downstairs when my parents were out of town, and the rabbit definitely ate the power cord to the Switch.
No!
So my Switch is currently not charged because I need to replace the power cord on the docking station. I brought it back upstairs, and it wouldn't transfer over to the screen. I was like, what is going on with this? And then I saw the giant hole in the power cord.
Is that the bunny's name, Caroline?
Yep.
Caroline,
she does that. In the words of Outkast, Caroline. Anyway.
Beautiful.
Back to
it. So the first time I ever completed my Pokedex, any Pokedex, and the first time I caught a shiny. Well, actually, no, that's not the first time I caught a shiny. That's a lie. But so I finished my Pokedex, got the shiny charm, and the shiny stone, the shiny charm, or whatever it is. And before I actually finished my Pokedex, or like during the time of finishing my Pokedex, I was like, I'm gonna try for this shiny Ponyta again because I got nothing going on. I kind of want to get back into Pokemon Let's Go because I know that I'm close to finishing up the Pokedex and I know that I'm almost there. So let's see what happens. So and I knew that by doing the catch combos, the Pokemon that I needed to get leveled up would get leveled up because you get like 1,000 experience points every time like you start doing a combo. So the first time I tried to do this shiny hunt for a Ponyta a while back, I got a 14 catch combo and the next Ponyta ran away. If you are trying to do this chain combo and the Pokemon runs away from you, the chain is over and you have to restart.
It's, oh my god, Pokemon.
You can run from the Pokemon. You can encounter another Pokemon, but as long as you don't catch it, you run away from it, your combo will continue. The biggest thing that screws you up is if the Pokemon runs from you.
The math homework that Pokemon has created and that you're doing willingly is just, I cannot.
I know, it's crazy. I never expected myself to do it, but this is where my friend from college comes in. Terrible show. Anyway.
I was trying to figure out, I was like, do I reference Colby Smulders in that sentence? How about Keegan Michael Key?
Oh my gosh. So anyway, so I was like, a friend of mine from college, like I said, JQ, he has, gotten into the streaming game. One of the biggest thing that I watch him for is he's currently trying to do a living shiny dex. So, which I learned that a living shiny dex is getting the both like female and male shinies. So I guess if there's differences, like different variants in the female and male. So like Pikachu for example, female Pikachus have the heart-shaped tail, whereas the male Pikachu just has the, electric bolt, tail. So that is what I have come to realize it to be. So he has been doing this shiny dex, and Q has a great community, and it's a very welcoming environment and all of that, and it is just so much fun to be sitting there watching him shiny hunt and interacting with people and all of that. So it really got me back into watching shiny hunts and watching someone try and complete a shiny dex, because like last year, again, to bring up the joke of this is the sequel year of Sayreport Jr., I was really into like watching shiny randomizers and shiny Nuzlocks and whatnot. So watching Q do this, I was like, I need to try and shiny hunt and Let's Go, because it seems fun, and I think I can do it, because like it seems more engaging than what you have to do in other games. It seems like
it's the benefit that Let's Go has of being able to see them running around.
Yes.
Like I don't know why that specific thing of all of the things that Let's Go like brought to the table, the idea of you can see them running around the environment was like the thing that's like, this is the thing that like gets me more interested to keep running around and catching stuff.
Yeah, it's great because you can, like, before I did try to shiny hunt in, I want to say Alpha Sapphire, because it kind of has a similar thing where you have the little image pop up on the bottom screen and it like shows you the outline of the Pokemon, or it just like shows you that little black ball that shows up in the grass. And there are ways to do chains in that, and I tried to do it with an Eevee, and a different Pokemon ran into me, and it screwed up my chain.
Yeah.
This, if a Pokemon runs into you, it doesn't mess up. So like I learned while watching Q like that it is okay, I don't have to worry about Pokemon running into me. Cool. I can run from the Pokemon even better. Like I was like, okay, this is what I'm interested in. This is what's going to be fun for me. I'm excited. So, and watching him get shinies is so much fun. It like gives you this like jolt of energy watching someone get a shiny. And in turn, I got to feel that energy when my shiny Ponyta showed up.
I would also, I think I've mentioned her before, but Laura Kate Dale, I think who's with Kotaku
Yeah, I think you
UK.
mentioned that. Yeah.
She has been doing like same thing, shiny hunt through Let's
Yeah.
Go, and
Yeah.
like has a thread on her Twitter page. And so like if you need a picture archive of all of the shiny Pokemon, including the ones that look so similar to their
Yep.
regular Pokemon,
Yep.
that's like the perfect one to go
Yeah.
through because she's like, I think got almost, if not all of them at this point.
Yeah.
She may have completed the decks at some point,
It's
but
crazy. It's awesome. Like it is
so many
that.
shiny Pokemon are like vomit green
Oh yeah.
too, by the way.
And I noticed that with Gen 1, it's a lot of like muted cold colors. So like it's mainly muted blues and greens and purples with like a splash of yellow thrown in and like puke yellow. Like it is not a flattering color of yellow.
Yeah, and I
At
think,
all.
I mean, I don't know how much of that has to do with like when they first got into Game Boy Color,
Yeah.
like their options
Mhm.
after their options for a shiny Pokemon be like, we need to do this off color. It just became like, well, let's just use the color palette we don't
Yeah.
normally use on
Yeah.
Game Boy Color
Yeah.
at this point.
It's crazy and like some of the shinies don't make sense. Like Sandshrew is green, but then Sandslash is like auburn? And it's like, wait, what? Why
It's like
isn't
someone went through with
Sandslash
like a photo.
also green?
Someone went through with like a Photoshop filter
Yeah.
and just started hitting like negative this and negative
Yeah,
that, and
yeah,
it doesn't matter that
exactly.
these things don't like line up afterwards. Yeah.
Exactly. It's cool, but it is like I remember the first shiny I ever caught because you get gifted a shiny Beldum in Alpha Sapphire, but the first shiny I ever caught was a random encounter. I like just accidentally walked into some grass and a Rosalia showed up. And I freaked out and I caught it. And I was so excited. I'm like, I'm going to try shiny hunting because that was such like a great feeling that I just had. And then I explained, it started getting annoying. So it was crazy like going back and being like, oh, I can feel that again because Let's Go makes it more engaging. It really does. Like it's not even that it's more easy. It's more engaging in Let's Go, and it definitely comes from the fact of you can see what Pokemon are around.
And that helps you like feel like you're keeping the chain going
Yes,
yourself. It takes
exactly.
out a random element that
Yes.
just can
Yeah.
get very annoying in
Yeah,
Pokemon
yeah.
at times.
It definitely it gives you, and not to say that I need all of the control in a video game because sometimes not having a control in a video game can be fun. But when it's when you have people doing these shiny hunts, it's kind of cool that they realized people are gonna. It seems like they realized people are gonna try and shiny hunt. Let's make it fun for them. Let's make it an engaging thing and not make it just by chance. Like it's still by chance, but you get to make that chance for yourself, kind of thing. And it really was. So within the past, when did I catch that shiny Ponyta? Like Thursday, I think.
Yeah, I was
think
gonna
it
say
Thursday.
like not very
So,
long ago.
Between Thursday and Saturday, I caught a shiny Ponyta, a shiny Vulpix, and a shiny Pidgeotto.
I would also point out, so I as I was talking about this, just had to pull up Twitter and look at
Yes.
Laura Kate Dale's Twitter feed, which is Laura K Buzz on Twitter.
Uh-huh.
And so she very recently, like literally within the last couple of minutes, caught a shiny Krabby, which
Yes.
bright yellow, very good. But right before that, and I don't know how this happened, but she got a shiny Alolan Graveler. I don't know how you pull that off with the Alolan trades in that game.
It would just be trading. Like
But
you
it
just have
does-
to continue trading.
Does look like a piece of of poop.
Yes, it
It
does.
just is. It is
Yeah, you're not
brown with
wrong.
yellow chunks. It is just. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, it's
Yes,
so bad,
yeah.
Pokemon. What are you
The
thinking?
Alolan
What are
the Alolan shinies are questionable.
Let's just make it brown.
They're
Why?
yeah, the Alolan shinies are strange with how they with their color palettes that they chose, but yeah, no,
Oh,
it's crazy. Like now I have 3 shinies in my game of Let's Go Eevee, and I never expected that to happen. And last night, I was trying to get a shiny Nidoran, a shiny male Nidoran, which is basically just the coloring of a female Nidoran. So you have Nidorans, male Nidoran showing up, and female Nidoran showing up, and every time a female
Okay,
Nidoran shows up,
but
you think it's the shiny,
okay.
and it's not.
Oh
What?
my God. Game,
What?
get your act together.
Also, I am doing these shinies in no order.
Oh no, 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 no,
The
no.
Pidgeotto showed up while I was trying to shiny hunt a second Vulpix. And I was like, well, it showed up, so I'm gonna get it. And then the Nidoran, I was like, Devin, tell me a number, and we were about to watch Jeopardy, and the time was like 7:37 or 6:37 or something, and he's like, whatever, or 6:35, he's like, whatever number 35 is, and it was a Nidoran male, or 37, I don't remember. But yeah, and while I was doing it, I'm like, I need to have like some garbage TV on the background, or some movie that I've seen 100 times, and that movie was High School Musical 3 senior year. And oh my God, that movie is ridiculous. Yeah.
Ugh.
It's not good. And I'm so happy that Zac Efron has able to forget all of that.
I mean, he pulled Daniel Radcliffe. He cashed all the
He
checks
totally did.
that he had to do when he was younger, and now he gets to do whatever the hell he wants.
Exactly. And it's fantastic. But I'm just like sitting there, and the whole time I'm just like making jokes at senior year. By the way,
Yeah, that is the graduation one. Okay.
yes, it is the graduation one. And also, by the way, the whole time I am singing along, didn't even know I knew the songs of High School Musical 3. But I'm like, how do I freaking know this song right now?
I don't listen to music, but every time I turn on like basic ass like top 40 radio, I know every song that's playing and I don't understand it.
Yeah, it was crazy and the whole time I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, I wish High School Musical 2 was on, because I would much rather watch High School Musical 2. It is the best of the 3 High School Musical. What?
I'm a Camp Rock fan. I've never watched any of these movies.
Hey,
I don't
Camp
know.
Rock is good too, all right? All right? Don't knock it till you try it, Zach. All right?
That's
So
what, Demi Lovato and one of the Jonases, right?
all 3 of the Jonases.
Oh, all 3 of them? I thought it was
Yes.
just one of them.
No, it's all 3 of them. Demi Lovato and Joe Jonas have a love issue, is what I was gonna say. A love story in Camp Rock that continues on to Camp Rock 2.
I think he's the one. I think that's why he gets to be the one on the poster.
Yes, yes. But yeah, so High School Musical 3 is just like bad. Like they are so phoning it in for that one, and it's the theatrical one.
I was gonna say that's the
It
one
is
that
the
went into
one-
theaters,
Yes,
right? That's
yes.
the one that they put in theaters after 2 movies being
Yes.
decoms.
Yes.
They go and put this one in theaters.
And it was 100% because like that movie came out when I was graduating high school, or like the year after I graduated high school. I don't remember
man.
exactly. So like it was all of these people who have been following the story of all these Wildcats are now graduating, and we could get them in the theater. We can do it. We can make the money.
We've siphoned down. We know exactly who's watching this, and it's exactly people who were in sophomore year the first time, junior year the next time, and then senior year this time.
Oh yeah. I mean, I remember the thing. I totally 100% was a High School Musical kid. Like I remember when the first High School Musical came out, I was over at my friend's house, and I was like, I was having fun with my friend, having fun, but I was like, I need to leave at this time because I cannot miss High School Musical. And then she was like, well, I was planning on watching High School Musical too, as well. And I was like, oh, I'm staying.
TOO,
I'm
not
staying.
TWO.
We're not.
She had that
yeah,
early
yes,
release
yes.
of High School Musical too.
So I was like, oh, I'm staying. We're going to watch High School Musical together, and then I'll go. Because I don't want to miss a second. I don't want to, like, forget because I'm having fun. No,
You know,
we're
this
watching.
sounds like that sounds like a High School Musical song.
Yes.
You're like, I don't want to miss a second.
Yes.
I don't want to miss.
It's so, and I
don't
don't
wanna miss my
want to
chance.
miss a thing. It's already a song, Zach. So anyway, so I remember watching it and then like so excited, had so much fun with it. And then my parents came and picked me up, and the whole ride home, I was just like, and they did this, and there was this song, and it was like fantastic, and there was a musical number in the cafeteria, and I just like rambled on. And there was a moment where my mom or my dad, I think my mom like said something and referenced the movie, and I was like, wait, how did you know that happened? And my parents watched High School Musical while I was
left out of the loop on this one.
What?
They didn't want to be left out of the
didn't.
loop on that
They
one.
watched High School Musical while I was at my friend's house watching High School Musical. And I just remember being so happy because they knew what I was talking about. And then High School Musical 2 comes out, and it is leaps and bounds greater than High School Musical, the first one. And I actually saw High School Musical 2. My mom won tickets from 92 Pro FM to go see High School Musical 2, like a live viewing of it at the Providence Place IMAX.
Of fucking course, 92 Pro FM and Providence Place IMAX did that. Of course they did that.
Yes, with the commercials, like it was a live, freaking
They
stream.
connected a TV to the freaking monitor.
Yes, yeah. It was incredible. It was incredible. And like,
oh man.
and so I always, when High School Musical 3 came out, I always made the joke. It's like, psh, I saw High School Musical 2 in the theater. What of it, guys?
What I love is that you've basically given High School Musical the same trajectory as The Godfather, which is first one's great,
yeah.
second one's even better, third one doesn't hold up.
Yep.
That's exactly what you
Yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much. Which, like, fuck you, Zach. Fuck you for bringing that to perspective.
Hey, there's also the part where it all takes place in Albuquerque at the same time that Breaking Bad is huge. So, like,
Yeah.
Breaking Bad and High School Musical are just happening next to each other the whole time.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if some of those kids were on meth.
It would explain a lot.
It certainly would. No, but High School Musical 2 is, like, literally my favorite movie of the three. And it is just so much fun. Because it's not high school. It's just high school drama at a country club. And it's like, yep, it's accepted. We're fine with it. But to show how much I love High School Musical 2, I like own the dance edition to it. I used to dance. I learned the dances to some of the songs from that one. The other day, while we were driving to the game convention on Saturday, I had my iPod from 7th grade hooked up to Devin's car, and I, like, later on in high school, I had put some of the High School Musical 2 songs on it, and one of the songs came on, and I just, like, did not give a shit. Just started belting it out. And I kept looking over at Devin, and he was just like, what the fuck is happening? Now, mind you, when the first High School Musical came out, Devin and I would belt those songs. But the second one, I was like, yeah, no, this is the best one. And so I'm watching High School Musical 3, and I'm like, this was
Bully
your
edition.
What?
The bully edition.
High School Musical 3 senior year, full title. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, this was your theatrical release. And the only reason and the only thing about it being theatrical is the way it was filmed. And because it has that, you know, we're an actual movie
Oh yeah,
feel to it.
it's got them movie cameras
Yes,
going
it
at it,
has
not them TV cameras.
exactly. It has the like full on high definition beautiful. It is beautifully shot and beautifully, you know, it really is. It really is. But the rest of the movie is just like, yeah, this is the same decom extra bullshit like that you guys have had for the other two movies. And like they're like, I keep saying that they made bullying okay, but like they do. And it's not good. Like they're seniors, so they keep bullying the freshmen. And it's like, haha, we're all having fun. But no, when you get down to it, it's just seniors being bullies to freshmen. And that's not cool.
I don't know what you're talking about. The whole idea is that when you get to be old enough and big enough, you get to bully the people under you because you were bullied, and that's how the cycle continues.
I know, but it's so bad. It's so bad. And then there's a point. So it's all about college and all about like, oh, I gotta do what I want to do, not what anybody else wants me to do. And then there's this scene where Troy and Gabrielle, by the way, I need to back up. If you don't know the players of the game, in the game of High School Musical, I'm not explaining them. Like, you should know who the players are.
I mean, I recognize them. I recognize them by name of actor, which I don't know why.
Okay.
And by them, what I mean is four of them. I recognize Zac Efron, Ashley Tisdale, Vanessa Hudgens, and Corbin Blue.
All right.
After that, I got nothing.
All right.
I couldn't tell you the name of anybody in that movie. I couldn't tell you what they do in that movie. I don't know anything about them. I just know that that's where they started.
Okay.
And Vanessa Hudgens is not the one that dated Justin Bieber. That was Selena Gomez, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Vanessa Hudgens might have. I don't know. Who knows?
Oh.
But so Zac Efron, Troy, and Vanessa Hudgens.
He was the basketball
Gabriella.
player that wanted to be in the musicals, right? That was his whole story.
Well,
okay.
He didn't even want to be in the musical. Like Gabriella. That's so much lore. Okay, I can't
Gabriella.
get into it.
Oh my God.
Gabriella is Vanessa
Here's
Hudgens.
the thing. There's an Avett Brothers song called Gabriella, where all I do is scream that name a bunch of times. And that's all I think of when you say that. It's just a bunch of white hicks going, Gabriella. That's all I think of.
But okay, so there's a scene, and it's like the middle, like, oh my God, everything is so sad thing, where it's Troy and Gabriella, Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens, and she's hidden the fact that she's basically got accepted to this it's like honors classes before you go to school at Stanford. So it's like a
AP,
3-week,
like advanced
AP
placement, kind
stuff.
of like special. Okay.
Yeah, like you get to go 3 weeks early. You get to go for 3 weeks. You get to see how it is. Blah 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 blah. It's basically like a one. I don't know what that is, but so the final half of her senior year, she spends at Stanford to like get a jump start on her honors courses, is basically what it is. And she's hidden this from everybody because the other plot of the movie is that they're doing another musical, a spring musicale, and
oh God.
it's what
that's about. I don't know anything about her character, but the fact that you said that made me go, yep, that sounds about right.
The drama director is like, the spring musicale is going to be about you guys. It's going to be about your class and what you're doing after college and everything.
They're gonna get meta about their own lives.
Yeah. Oh
okay,
yeah.
Sure.
Yes. And it gets meta hard. Like it goes hard. It's ridiculous. So that's the other part. And she's like, and Gabriella is the one who like gets everybody to do it. So she's like, I need to hide the fact that I'm going to be leaving and I'm not even going to get to be in the spring musical and like everybody's going to be mad at me because I got them into this mess. So like she hides it, and then there's that scene where Troy finds out and she's like, I just don't want to keep saying goodbye. Like, this is the first time, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you need to do it. It's the right thing to do. And she's like, well, what about you? Like, you're questioning whether or not you want to go to UCLA or Juilliard. Like, who are you to be telling me what I need to do? And then she like makes this whole big thing of that she doesn't know if she wants to do it, and she's like leaning towards that she doesn't want to. And then they kind of have like this weird fight that isn't a fight, and then it cuts to her like singing, lamenting about it, and then her house is sold. Her and her mom are headed over to California to Stanford, and she's started the program. And it's like, what just happened, movie? Like, she just said she didn't want to do it, and now she's doing it.
I mean, that's what you do, right? You do the things you don't want to do because that's what being an adult is.
Wait, it goes even further. She's gonna miss prom and all that, right? So Troy, after she leaves, is like, I miss Gabriella, and I want Gabriella back. And I'm like, you were the one who told her to do it, Troy. You don't get to be sad. I mean, you do. You do get to be sad. But, like, she wouldn't have gone. She was prepared to, like, not because she didn't really want to. And then you were like, no, you need to. So she does it, and he's all sad, and then he, like, she's gonna miss prom, and she's about to break up with him. So then he drives to Stanford to dance with her on their prom night, even though he already spent the money on their prom tickets. So ridiculous. This movie's ridiculous. And I didn't finish it. I've seen the ending, but I didn't finish it last night. And I did not get my shiny Nidoran.
That's like when I sat down to watch all 3 extended versions of the Lord of the Rings films and then stopped after the Eagles picked up Sam and Frodo.
Yeah. I don't know.
That will mean something to someone. Not you, because you've never seen those.
Nope.
But
nope. But yeah, I pretty much, it's crazy. High School Musical, God. Watch High School Musical 3, everybody. Or don't. You don't have to. Have it as a background movie. It's a good background movie if you're trying to shiny hunt Pokemon.
I mean, I was trying to find something to add to this since I've never seen them, so I Googled fun facts about High School Musical.
Oh,
and
God.
I mean, I could tell you a couple of weird things about. Well, it says High School Musical. I don't know if this is one or the whole series. It must be the whole series.
It's probably something I know. So let's see.
So let's see. 15 jaw-dropping things you didn't know about High School Musical.
Jesus. Okay.
Starting with the fact that it wasn't supposed to be called High School Musical. They just couldn't think of a better name. It was the working title, and they just never thought of anything better. Zac Efron didn't actually sing in the first movie.
Nope. I knew that.
Man, these are jaw-dropping facts suck then. This just says the original cast was completely different, but sure.
I didn't know that. That's not groundbreaking, guys.
Oh, so apparently, like, Ashley Tisdale was originally auditioned for Gabriella.
I did know that.
Corbin Blue for Troy, I think, before they gave him Ryan, stuff like that. Let's see. The snow was made of potatoes.
What?
When Troy and Gabriella first meet on New Year's Eve, it was snowing outside, except the snow was actually potato shavings.
Wow, I did not know that. That's incredible. That's incredible to me.
Sharpay's pink locker still exists, so I actually noticed in a different page that she has a single door locker in the first 2 movies, and then in the third it's a double door locker because
Yep.
Because she's got that Phineas and Ferb money at that point.
Yep. She's fabulous.
So the school, which is supposed to be in Albuquerque, is actually located in Salt Lake City.
Yep.
And so they just kept the locker where it was.
Yeah. The best so the best thing about East High, which is the school that they go to, their colors were my high school colors. So red and white.
My high school colors too. There's a lot of people's high school colors. We had gold mixed in there.
Well, okay, Zach. We're to like shoot down
same colors as one of our middle schools. Right? Same color as a Narragansett.
It was really cool. It was really cool to me to watch these characters that I watched grow up wear the same kind of graduation gowns that I wore. So,
what it really means is that technically High School Musical is really a Rhode Island movie as much as they try to tell you it's a New Mexico movie filmed in Utah.
I'm okay with that.
Apparently Coach Bolton and Miss Darbus were supposed to have a duet at some point. That just never happened.
Oh, God. I didn't know that. Jeez, that would have been weird.
The song "Bet on It" took 6 days to film.
Oh, that is the best song.
So here's the
If
funny
you've
thing. So
never
different,
seen it,
looking at a different film. So it took 24 days to film the first movie
yes,
entirely.
Yes.
6 of which were this one's
Yes.
song, apparently.
No, Bet
It
on
took
It's from the
41
second.
days to film High School Musical 3, and that makes me laugh that that's the one they were phoning in.
Yeah.
That took the longest out of the 3 of them.
Bet on It is from the second movie.
Oh, whatever.
It's angsty Troy Bolton. And then
Sure.
angsty Troy Bolton shows up in senior year, and it's great. He rips down. Oh, it's so good. That's the best scene in the movie. Angsty Troy Bolton, let me tell you, best character.
Oh my God, I like this one. That Ryan's actor wanted Ryan to be openly gay, but they wouldn't let him. I
Lucas
think
Grabeel.
I knew that, and I've never even seen the damn
Yep.
movie.
Yep. Yeah. Lucas Grabeel. I love him. That's actually, I did not know that as a fact.
Yeah, apparently, like, well, it was one of those things where, like, I was always under the impression that, like, Sharpay's little hench boy there is gay.
Well, it's her brother.
Is it her brother?
It's
I thought
her
he was just like a
twin
dude
brother.
that followed her around.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
they're
I thought it was like
twins.
her. I thought it was just supposed to be gay best friend.
No, I mean, yeah, it definitely feels like he was, supposed to be gay. I just never knew that Lucas Grabeel wanted him to be openly gay, and that they shot that down. That makes me, God damn it, High School Musical!
Tried to make Ryan an openly gay character. Unfortunately, back in the day, gayness wasn't as celebrated as it is today. Back in the day, of 12 years ago.
Yeah, seriously.
Let's see. High School
my
Musical
God.
2 is the highest rated Disney Channel premiere ever.
Yeah, 'cause
I'm not
it's the
surprised by
best.
that.
It's the best. I'm actually not surprised by that either. It was so
3 was
big.
supposed to be Halloween themed
Oh.
before it was senior year. Apparently, it was High School Musical 3 Haunted High School Musical, which was an idea thrown around.
Oh, yes, actually, I did hear that.
This Disney Channel movie that was Halloween and high school themed. Halloween Titans probably wasn't different. So yes, they tried that. I'm
Which
just
Lucas
like
Grabeel
going
was
down the
also
list.
in.
I'm going down this list of an article from thethings.com. Anyway,
All right.
what is this show anymore?
You can stop.
I'm just looking for the cool. I mean, the interesting stuff is over. I'm
Yeah,
gonna see what's
it's-
at number 1.
What's
The papers and what time is it were real assignments? What does that even mean? Oh, because it was filmed in a real high school. They just
Yeah.
used people's actual homework to
Yeah.
do that scene.
What time is it? Also from the second movie. What time is it? Hey, summertime. It's our
Apparently,
vacation.
before Wildcats,
What
it was
time is
leopards.
Oh, that's weird. School's out. Scream
Oh,
and
when did this
shout.
article come out?
I don't know.
Hold on. No,
You're
no,
the one
because it's from
reading it.
2017. Well, because the last thing, the number one fact is that there's a High School Musical 4, and that's because it's from 2017. So
Wait, High School Musical 4? Oh,
maybe that never happened.
I
Did
forget.
that
No,
just never
that
actually
was
happen?
rumored. I don't know if it ever came out. I don't think it ever
Uh,
came out. It might still be in the works. Who knows? Oh God, what is the show? We gotta wrap it up.
yeah,
the show
we're
like
done.
has
We've
petered out.
We've lost
We
our-
just keep
we've lost-
talking. Jesus.
Oh, that's okay, because this is a sequel to that time when we did all of those Halloween Disney Channel original movies. So really, we're just rehashing all of our old bits.
Jeez, this is
We are just
crazy.
on brand for this episode. We hit Pokemon, we hit High School Musical and Disney, we hit horror
Oh my
movies.
Gosh, it really is.
I hit One Tree Hill at one point.
You did. Oh man, it really is on brand.
Oh Christ!
Oh gosh. All right, we gotta wrap this up, or else we'll just
Yep.
keep talking and just keep it recording, and we'll have like a 2-hour episode.
It's because we managed to get recording, and we're just desperate to make sure we get as much as possible before it disappears.
Oh man. Yeah. So I'm gonna plug real quick. JQ, my friend JQ from college. Check him out on Twitch. His Twitch name is I think Stekino? What? Thank you. Devin was yelling it to me. It is STICQENO. So if you go look that up, he is on Twitch. He's on Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff, Snapchat, all that good stuff. He puts out really great quality streams. He also releases mixtapes. He raps and all of that, and he's great. And and he has a new mixtape dropping on the same day that this episode is dropping. So go check that out. I believe it's going to be video game themed, so and it's going to be about streaming and whatnot, based on the hints that he's been giving out. So go check him out. He's awesome. And yeah, this has been Say Report Jr. Do you have anything that you need to plug?
Yeah, I forgot two very important things. One is that the Sonic trailer has Gangsta's Paradise in the background
Oh
as
my
its
God.
as its song, which is just great. The other one is we never got into the fact that I shaved, but we'll talk about that.
Oh,
another
wait,
time.
what?
Yep. Nope. We're done.
Wait,
You
Zach,
can follow us
no!
on Twitter at Say Report Jr. You can follow us on YouTube if you search Say Report Jr. You can follow me on Twitter at Zerwhisky. And Dale at Dale's brain because she can't talk right now. And after all of this bomb dropping
I'm gonna need a
information,
Snapchat. I'm gonna need a Snapchat after this, buddy.
you
Or
get
just a text.
this ice cream. Ice cream is the word that gets us out of this show. Ice cream. Take it away, Liz.
Oh man.
Thank you for listening to The Say Report with your hosts Dale Decker and Zach Serowick. Please follow the guys on Twitter and Facebook by searching for The Say Report, and you can always subscribe on your podcast channel so this is delivered straight to you and you can enjoy it every week. With apologies to your mother, we'll see you next time.